So this is Martin Reilly, he's the writer of the show.
And this is Stephen Deazley, who's the composer of the show.
Nightmare Scenario started as a research and development project. How best to engage young people in a storytelling form that includes the operatic form. How best to bring those two forms together. Martin's a writer, I'm a composer. We've worked in opera, we've worked in theatre.
So we did it in a practical way, this research, by actually going to a primary school, local primary school here in Newport, and engaging with the kids in building a story, asking them the question, what should be in a story, developing the story, and the piece now still reflects the original story, the original ideas, the original inspirations of those children.
I'm talking deep cover, total immersion. 1 minute, a teenage girl's best friend is in crisis. The next, a platoon of soldiers at war. Look me in the eyes if you're ready for action. Yes.
So the audience are in the story. They're not an audience, actually. They become a part of the story with Aggie. They've infiltrated, they've gone deep cover inside the story, and they've been given the challenge, can they infiltrate the story and change it, and change its direction, and as she says, stop the bad stuff happening. And so they become whatever the story demands of them. You know, on one occasion, they're the best friends of a teenage girl in a despairing moment. The next minute, they're part of a squad of soldiers lost behind enemy lines. And they experience each of those moments, and the story develops, and they get deeper and deeper into it. Until the end, they have to make an awe-inspiring decision, which does change the ending. So we actually have to have two endings, yeah. And we don't know. No one knows what they will choose.
Okay, it looks like we're soldiers now. Jaran infantry by the sounds of it, so let's go with the flow. You okay?
I'm Ruth Stringer and I'm the designer for set and costume. With spaces like this where it is quite a big room that you're able to inhabit, that means that you're able to do different things that, again, you can't really do when you're in a theatre space sometimes, because generally an audience will always be sat in their same seat, and, you know, the scenery can change somewhat, but their perspective and how close they are isn't going to change. It's nice to just look for the moments within the space that you're in and go, where can we do that and how can we do that? And as much as in parts of this room we have sort of separated places off so that people can't just see exactly what journey they're going to take. There are a few surprises, but then we also try to use the length and the breadth of the room to create this feeling that there are characters who are another part of the space from you, and what that does to them and what their relationship with you is when they're in that space compared to when they're right in your face asking you questions directly.
It was interesting because it's different to, I think it was different to other other theatres of musicals, because most of them, like, you sit down. It was quite cool how you moved around. Yeah, it was kind of like you were a part of it. You weren't just watching everything.
I thought it was really good because it was a bit scary and freaky, but it wasn't full on scary. It was really fun to watch because we were kind of included in it.
One of the things we wanted to play with right from the start, right before young people got, involved in giving us a story that we could tell, is trying to work out how to use and to work with operatic language, operatic structure, and how to break operatic structure. So how to reform it in a way that we could make it come alive for people who are not used to going to opera, not used to hearing a singer, singing right beside you. And one of the exciting things we've been doing in the research is putting young people and older people as well close to the opera singer, where they can feel the physicality of the voice and just get a sense of how powerful that is, both in terms of its volume, because it is powerful, but most importantly because of its sort of emotional core. So we're doing two things. We're we're experimenting with how we can push that operatic form, but also how we can break it and refashion it for a different kind of audience at a different stage of their sort of operatic journey.